welcome back to my channel on how I was able to heal in my story of healing from domestic abuse and parental alienation. Today's topic is manipulation techniques of abusers and how it happens slowly. When I met my abusive ex-partner, I was 14 years old. And the way it happened, it was so, I was very, very young. But I basically was looking to be rescued from my dad. Because my dad was overbearing, he was controlling. He literally was making all of us sick. And so in comes this man. He was 4 years older than me. He had a really nice car. He was very good looking. And I was love bombed to the extreme. I was bought fur coats, gold necklaces, clothes, all kinds of things, being taken out for lobster and steak. And imagine a young girl who is being love bombed like this. That's really hard to turn down. And that's how our relationship started. And our relationship actually lasted fairly consistently from when I was 14 until I was 30. So we had a long history together. And I was looking for an out. I wanted my white knight to rescue me from my dad. And he was the only one who would stand up to my dad. Me not knowing at the time that I was going from the frying pan into the fire. So that's basically, and our relationship was a cyclical one where he'd do something to upset me. We'd break up. Then he'd try to love bomb me again. I'd get back with him. He'd say he changed. And then it would just go around and around like that. And, it was emotional abuse, but it happened, like I said, it happened very slowly over time. And as we got older, it got much, much worse. What they try to do is they try to win your trust. They try to find out what you like and give you that or be that person. And then slowly they just they might say, you're looking a little heavy. And what they're trying to do is to create self-doubt within you, or I don't like that shirt. It starts out really slow. It's almost like they nitpick at you very slowly. And what they're trying to do is to get you to not trust yourself anymore. And over time, I was giving up more and more control to him. In exchange, this is what helped me walk away, was figuring out, why am I in this relationship? And what I was looking for was acceptance. In exchange, I was giving up my control. So that's what helped me to walk away and never look back. But they do it very slowly. But you'll notice as you're in the relationship, you'll feel it. And, they'll question the way you do certain things. And it's just, they want to erode your self-confidence. And they want you to put them in charge of your life. What they think, how they feel, how you should dress, how you should look, how much you should weigh. It was crazy. But it happened very slowly over time. And like I said, it just got worse and worse. It didn't start out bad. It started out in a major love bombing way. And every time he would do something that would cross the line, he was cheating on me back then as well. And every time he would do something like that, then he would love bomb me again. We'd get back together. We'd have our little honeymoon period. And they call it the cycle of abuse, basically. You get, I'll change, honeymoon period, abuse, break up, and wash, rinse, and repeat. And that was a cycle that I was going through in my relationship for 16 years. So, and you have to be very careful about when you meet new people about what you share about yourself, what your likes are, what your dislikes are. Because unfortunately, manipulative people will use that information to draw you in and be whomever you're looking for. The biggest red flags that I would suggest looking for is anyone who wants to move too quickly. That's kind of been what has worked for me post the relationship. I now take my relationships very slowly. I don't rush into anything at all. And I get to know them as a person first. I have boundaries, but anyone who wants to rush and, let's move in together next week, that's very toxic. That's very unsafe. So now what I've learned to do is I just move slowly in all my relationships. Trust has to be earned. And, we give someone some trust up front, of course, but to come into your life, they have to earn their way in. And it doesn't matter who you're dealing with. No one has the right to mistreat you. And when I finally was able to have the courage to leave and never look back, the reason they go after the child is to demean you. They're trying to hurt you any way they can. And usually abusive people don't hook up with other abusive people. They're usually empaths, codependent, but even if you're codependent, you can still, I always used to tell people I wear my heart on my sleeve. Not so much anymore, but that's how I used to be. And so what they try to do is they know how much that child means to you, and they want to demean you. Oh, look, she's not with her child. And I'll be honest with you, my ex is still getting mileage out of it today. And it was sad because after our divorce, my son was telling me stories about how people were giving my ex gift baskets full of video games for my child and gift cards because they all felt bad for him, thinking I had left them, and that wasn't the truth. And I was also paying child support, which I was completely fine with because I was making the higher wage. But this is what they do. They're always the victim, no matter what. And I assume because of what I go through today, unfortunately, he's still getting mileage out of it. And there really is no truth to it whatsoever. So, but this is what they do. They play everybody. And, and it's not just in the romantic relationships. It depends on what kind of person they are, but they look to, they want something from you, and it's not the relationship. It's not your love, it's not your caring, and it's not your kindness. There's something they want to get from you, and once they get it, then they start treating you horribly, basically. So, or they break up with you. So that's kind of what I went through. I remember when, after we split, he wanted keys to my new place. I told him no, absolutely not. And the next week, he sued me for divorce. He served me with, because he wanted to hurt me. He wanted to humiliate me. Before I left, we had talked everything out on how it was going to be. That's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be mature about it. But that conversation, according to him, never occurred. So, and then he hit me really hard, and I was not expecting it. But I definitely have learned from that experience big time. So, Hopefully that gives you some insight into how they work. Like I said, it happens very slowly. They'll start questioning you. You know, they want you to lose trust in yourself and lean on their approval, their opinion, basically so you're a robot. So, and then they can get what they want from you, whatever that might be. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I'm grateful you showed up today for my channel. Take care. Bye-bye.